Feeling of failure is something that we do not wish to go through, but yet it feels so inevitable throughout our journeys. Throughout the generations of our grandparents, of our parents, and then obviously our older siblings to us now, we have gone through some like 4 generations recently of how we view failure, and each generation is very unique and different. Starting from grandparents, failure was not something that they really cared for, and maybe they did, but it wasn't a big deal, and they would pick themselves back up right back again. And then you had the parents who they feared failure, but they went through it, but they never really talked about it, and it's never really a lesson that was really like taught. And then with the older siblings, I would feel like the older siblings who are, obviously young adults, they often feel failure, they fear it, but they don't really try to let that stop them because they had a great example of their parents who didn't really fear failure but didn't really talk about it. So they showed this really strong emotion that they just carried with themselves within, and they just kept going. Now this newer generation, which is my generation, failure has never been something that has been such a big issue today in this world, and you might be surprised by it. Now, there are good days and then there are bad days. And I feel like there's way more bad days than there are with the good days, because we need to learn how to appreciate all the bad days that we go through, and appreciate when the good days actually come by and rescue us to pick us back up again, because it's that sense of achievement. Now, I feel like a lot of people who start their journey end up having these big road bumps that they considered as road blockers, and they don't really move on from that. And after that, they end up finding their way around, but eventually they get all the big goals that they ever dreamed of, and then it's like, now what? You know what I mean? And soon they keep on getting more goals and goals, and they just never really achieve them because there's you don't really complete them. There's a lack of achievement. And I think Evers try to shoot for these high goals, and then they forget about all the very little amount of goals that they want to achieve. So when they run out of big goals to achieve, or the goals start becoming really hard, you end up feeling like really like crap, and you just lose that momentum of achieving great things. You know what I mean? And there's just this lack of achievement to where now fear of failure is coming by, and you just feel really down low. And I obviously want to talk about my personal and how I dealt with it, and what are my inspirations too. Now, if you guys have seen my channel is not really popping off, but it's it'll eventually do, and I'm pretty confident, and I really want to make this something that I am very successful at. And it's a big deal to me that maybe I'm up there someday, creating content for people and being able to have an audience and having a fan base is probably one of my biggest goals, but that seems so far away. Now, I think for me, every day that I post content whenever I can, there was a big time where I was going through my gaming channel, and I was not, increasing in views, increasing in anything else, and it just felt like a dead end. And I was just ready to give up on my dreams because I was just fear of failure. And I remember having this 1.5k subscriber channel that I had tons of subscribers on, and I was ranking up so many views that I didn't even know how to appreciate that, honestly. And I was enjoying the content that I was making. I was making so much content by myself, and I'm very surprised. But I think now, when I was creating my gaming channel, I was doing something that I really want to share with you guys today in this video, and I think it may help you guys all out. And yeah, I'm gonna save the quote for later, but it's a huge quote that I live and stand by. And I was trying to appreciate every single thing that I was just feeling, just because I didn't know what to do. I was losing sight of those big goals, and I wasn't achieving them because they were so high standard, so high up, that I forgot to appreciate the little things. if I was enjoying it, if I had, fun creating content, making creative ideas. And yeah, I was making a ton of content, and I was making a ton of creative ideas, and I was really happy with gaming. But I had to look a little bit lower than usually my high standards, which high standards aren't that bad, but just make sure that it's not like super high up that it feels impossible, and it's so far away that you need momentum every single time. And I feel like a lot of people, when they look at that and they become a YouTuber or something other than that, they really want to ask for help, and they're just so lost that now there's people out there to really help out, and they do it for a career, which is crazy. A couple people that did a inspiration for me when I learned this skill was a YouTuber. It was a fitness YouTuber. He went down low. I'm not gonna give out his name, but he went down low in views, and he lost a lot of traction, and he was popping during the summer of last year, the last few years before COVID hit. And then people weren't watching YouTube as much. TikTok finally took over, and a bunch of people have been creating content on there. So a lot of people transfer from YouTube to TikTok. But obviously him, there's also another guy that I'm gonna pop up on screen. There's also Steve Harvey. There's these guys who literally are celebrities, but there's so many people that they talk to that they're trying to help so many people out. And you always see those interviews of young men asking for advice on how to really get over fear of failure and what they should do next. And and from the person's standpoint, they give the best advice that they can. You probably have seen it on TikToks or seen it on a YouTube short. I know I have. Yeah, they're all great guys, and I've found that really inspirational for me, and that's what really picked up for me. And my advice for people who are feeling failure or just are losing the gain of achievement is start to focus on the small things, because when you focus on the small things and make it a really big deal, every single if you make it a big deal, then those things are gonna feel like you're winning every day. Like, let's say I didn't do so well on the next YouTube video. Okay, what do I look at next that maybe have been a little bit better than the video before? It's thought of, I did not gain any subscribers, but my viewer retention was a little bit higher than the last video. Or maybe the fact that I uploaded today, I was very consistent with my schedule, and that's a big win for me. It's taking those small things and making a really big deal, because when you make it a really big deal, all those big deals are going to become like small victories, and you're going to feel like you're winning every single day. And obviously I'm going to put up the quote, because obviously I messed up the quote already, but yeah, it's a really inspirational quote that I told my friend even as well, and he really took it to heart, and he's like, damn, that really hits hard, man. And I've been thinking about this quote, and I've been living by it, so make sure you guys are living by it too. And yeah, you gotta really appreciate all the small things before you can really appreciate the big ones, and get to the big ones. And on your journey, on your way there, you're just appreciating all those little things. Like for me, the biggest example was me going to the gym. Me going to the gym was I wasn't getting the physique yet, and I know that was a huge goal for me. But you know what, the small things that I needed to work on was organization, my eating schedule, how I plan things. Like, everything took time, and a lot of things you have to appreciate the small journey and really build up to that, so that way you can get to that big goal. So if you're feeling if you're fearing a failure, make sure to take this advice. And I hope you guys live and die by this quote. As I hope you guys all achieve your dreams in the future, and maybe one day I'll reach it to the big subscriber goal that I have in mind. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.